coming out of the east side. Oh, town biz. All right, so in this morning stream, ain't gonna say today because it's the morning and I'm just getting off of work. I actually thought we would get out a little bit early, and basically for some reason, I guess everybody hit the wall today, and we ended up staying till 7 o'clock or something. What is it? Yeah, it's damn near 8 o'clock. But nevertheless, I'm gonna talk about the situation I'm gonna talk about Devin Haney and the rematch with Kambosos. I'm gonna talk about Canelo's footage leak and talk about is Canelo on the decline. And then of course I'm gonna talk about Keith Thurman miraculously being ranked the number one contender for the WBC welterweight title, and Terrence Crawford not even being in the top 10, which it's coming. What's up, CB? Let me talk about Devin Haney. So, not yet with Devin Haney and George Kambosos Jr. They don't have a date. I already just spoke to Bill. Nothing's official yet. Bill, I'm gonna just keep it honest with you, Bill. If you listen to Bill, which you probably eventually go check this out. Hey, Bill, on the real, my dude, y'all need to flex on Kambosos, man. Y'all the A side, man. Make that dude come out here to the States and fight y'all, man. You beat him decisively. Give him some incentive. Give him some incentive money to fight in the States, because at the end of the day, y'all the A side. Y'all already didn't beat that dude. You beat him decisively. You know what I'm saying? That's just real talk. When you dominate somebody like that, they don't have nothing with or threaten to give up one of the belts. Because if you give up one of the belts, he's not guaranteed to get a shot at whatever belt you give up. So he could try to become undisputed again. That's what y'all should do. That's what I would threaten to do. Fight in the States, or you know what I'm saying? And like I said before, they don't need Kambosos, because like I said, there's plenty of opportunity for Devin Haney if he decides to move up to 140. A lot of fights, a lot of money for Devin Haney at 140 if he chooses to move up to 140. A lot of winnable fights. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on that situation. Real talk, Bill, but I'll let you boy, man. But all right, so let me talk about this situation with Canelo. So apparently some sparring footage got leaked of Canelo, and Canelo wasn't looking good, and now people are speculating, well, what's up with Canelo and all this kind of stuff. What's going on with Canelo? We're worried and all this kind of stuff. Hey man, I'm gonna keep it a buck about Canelo and answer the question: is Canelo on the decline? It might be a little bit of he might be on a decline, or it could be that he started to fight certain type of styles that gave him trouble. Bibble beat Canelo decisively, and if you go back to the Caleb Plant fight, I thought Caleb Plant was winning that fight until he got caught. And that's pretty much it. It's just that Canelo struggles with certain styles. And you just saw it in his last two fights. Now, I know Showtime had Canelo winning decisively versus Caleb Plant, but the eye test tells me otherwise. I was watching that fight, and I was watching it being completely fair and non-biased towards neither fighter. If I thought Canelo was winning, I would have said he was winning, but I thought Canelo was losing that fight. He was getting outboxed. And he happened to Caleb Plant, because to be honest with you, had Canelo won by decision, it would have been a little bit of some controversy, because I thought Canelo was on the verge of losing that fight. But nevertheless, he stopped Caleb Plant. He caught him, and he got the stoppage. But do I think Canelo is on the decline? It could be. It could be that he's on a decline. You talking about a dude that did fought like what, 50 something times? This dude been fighting since he was like 17. You know, he could be getting long in the tooth. And based off how bad Canelo looked in his last fight, Canelo looked terrible versus Bibble. He looked terrible. That was the most beatable I ever saw Canelo. And like I said before, many of us believe that if Bibble had stepped on the gas and been a little bit more aggressive, he might have could have stopped Canelo. And if they fight again, he's gonna stop Canelo. If that fight is on the up and up, Bibble will stop Canelo. He will stop him. And Arthur Beterbiev will end Canelo's career. So I don't see Canelo fighting those two. And Canelo already is having reservations about a second fight with Bibble anyway. So I'm just keeping it a buck. Canelo's already having second thoughts about a second fight with Bibble, and why would you want to go through that again when you got beat thoroughly? He looked confused in that fight, and if he goes into a second fight with Bibble with Eddie Reynoso as his trainer, like I said, he gonna get stopped. I just think Bibble is just too skillful for Canelo. He's too big, he's too strong, he's too skillful for Canelo. It's just a bad matchup. Like I said, Canelo, if he fights Bibble again, he getting stopped. He getting stopped. Book it. It's not. I heard every excuse in the book why Canelo lost. He lost because he bit off more than he could chew, and he finally fought a fighter that didn't comply. And that's all it came down to. He said if he fights Bibble again, he said it won't be at a catch weight. He said it'll be at 175. So like I said before, I don't see nothing. I don't see anything Canelo could do different in a rematch. I think Bibble will be even more confident, and Bibble knows that Canelo can't beat him. And I think Bibble will step on the gas, and I say Bibble stops Canelo in like 6 rounds. He's gonna punish him, and Eddie Reynoso will throw in the towel. But I do think I just think it could be a little bit of both. But I really don't put that much into sparring because, look, I'm just going to keep it real. All this stuff about leaking sparring footage and all this stuff, this stuff started with Floyd Mayweather. Okay? Like, oh, I don't want you to film me sparring and all this stuff. It started with Floyd Mayweather because he had a couple of bad sparring sessions. And ever since then, you done had these fighters playing secret squirrel with sparring. Like, you can't see a dude sparring like this. Like, it's real gonna give you a blueprint of how to beat him. This thing has just been blown out of proportion. Because Floyd had a couple of bad sparring sessions. So then Floyd started saying nobody can't film him sparring and all that. Back in the day, Muhammad Ali, all them dudes used to let people film them sparring. They all used to let them film them sparring. It wasn't a big deal. It turned into something. It turned into a big deal because Floyd took this and enhanced it in the sparring. So I'm just telling you guys right now, do not put too much into sparring because it doesn't mean anything. And like I said before, once again, some started with Floyd Mayweather. That's where this is coming from. He had a bad, you know what I'm saying, borrowing no footage, or it was filmed, and they got rid of the film. He had a bad sparring session with some white fighter. He got worked. Then it was another sparring session that he had, and that's where all this stuff started. These dudes coming there, no me sparring like, man, come on, man, it ain't no big. And now it turned into this thing where if somebody get footage of somebody sparring and they put it out, they get a whole bunch of views. They sensationalize sparring footage now. That's all that's been going on. They just been sensationalizing sparring. It's nothing to it. Nothing to it. It's just sparring. So like I said, I ain't gonna put stock into the Canelo thing, but maybe Canelo is on the decline. Maybe he reached his ceiling. You know what I'm saying? There's a dude that's been fighting professionally since he like 17 years. Then not to mention he done had like 50 something fights. So you gotta kind of think, well, maybe the wear and tear is gonna kick in sooner than later. You know, you just never know. We'll see September. We'll see September because a lot of people expect him to stop Triple G. And if he doesn't stop Triple G and let alone struggle against a 40-year-old Triple G, then we do need to start looking at Canelo like, okay, maybe Canelo need to possibly get out of boxing while he can before he fights somebody and he gets humiliated or he gets beat up really bad. So the Triple G fight answer a lot of questions where Canelo is, where he's going, you know what I'm saying, and what possibly may be next for him. If he doesn't look too good against a 40-year-old Triple G, then I don't think he goes nowhere near Charlo or David Benavidez, which I don't think he wants to fight any of those dudes anyway. He made it very clear he didn't want to fight Demetrius Andrade, so we'll see. All right, so let's get to the big topic at hand. Now, miraculously, a lot of people went on to the WBC website and looked at the power rankings, looked at the contenders, looked at the champions, and to a lot of people's surprise, Keith Thurman was surprisingly the number one contender for Errol Spence's WBC title. And a lot of people is like, okay, how could that be? But then again, when you go back to the Barrios fight, they kind of said it was a eliminator bout, but they didn't say that. They didn't say that dude was gonna get like possibly be the number one contender. So keep in mind, Keith Thurman did say that he was told earlier this year that he was gonna get a fight with Errol Spence. I don't think he was supposed to announce that, but now you guys see what I've been trying to warn y'all about. While people were attacking me thinking that I had some personal vendetta and agenda against Errol Spence, no, I'm just telling people that the fix might have been in. There's no way Keith Thurman should be the number one contender. And then Terence Crawford is not even in the top 10. He's not even. So how is it that you trying to set up a fight and the WBC ain't even ordering Errol Spence to fit his title versus Terence Crawford? How is Terence Crawford not the mandatory? How is Keith Thurman the mandatory over Terence Crawford? And in his last fight, he fought a dude that was making really his welterweight debut. Can y'all explain that to me? You can't make this stuff up. But see, at the end of the day, you already know the Errol Spence Brigade, they're gonna try to justify any move that's made by him in the PBC. And then now, once again, like I keep telling you, they keep changing the narrative about what's going on in negotiations. They keep changing the story. First they said it was a damn contract and they was waiting for Terence Crawford to sign it. Now come to find out ain't no damn contract. And I told you guys months ago that the new cap was going to be to get out of this fight and go fight Keith Thurman, that they was going to say that Terrence Crawford is pricing himself out. And you know, the Aerospitz Brigade is going to try to manipulate and try to fool the naive boxing fans. And there's certain people out here, I ain't going to say who they is. Please stop making boxing videos talking about Aerospitz versus Terrence Crawford, because you don't know what the hell you talking about, and you sounded ridiculous. Like, if you really don't follow boxing, don't try to talk boxing like you know boxing, because this is an insult to people that actually follow this sport. But yeah, that's going to be the new cap, because like I said, at the end of the day, the master plan is to try to put this on Terrence Crawford no matter what. Because like I said, they're running out of excuses now. Once again, 9 months. We going into 9 months, still no fight. Still no, I mean, for real. Still no fight date, nothing's happened. Still basically were 2 years ago. And then all this thing, all this new theme about, oh, Terrence Crawford is being greedy because he wants 50-50. Oh, okay. But Terrence Crawford said this when he was still with Top Rank. He already said that he wasn't taking less than 50-50 to fight Aerosmith. So what's changed? And this is what you call destitute out of some of these PBC extremists and Aerosmith extremists, because they get destitute. Because like I said, their biggest cap was the whole Top Rank thing. And to be honest with you, the way you didn't see the PBC move, they didn't made Aerosmith look bad, whether you want to admit it or not. Okay? Because I done seen too many signs that, okay, do they really want this fight? Do they really want this fight? When it was leaked, see, here's the thing. Like I said, this is why I keep calling out the fake pro-black woke media. Like I say, they want to pocket watch with Terrence Crawford. They want to tell Terrence Crawford how much money they think he should take, but they don't have no problem with the PBC giving Canelo $40-50 million. They don't have no problem with Canelo basically finessing the PBC, taking $40 million from them and running off with their belt, or running off with one of their fighters' belts and going elsewhere, going back to the zone. Don't this sound familiar? Just like they gave Anthony Joshua a belt. And then basically the fight that we wanted to see really bad 4 years ago couldn't happen. It's funny how the PBC go out of their bend over backwards for you know what I'm saying, for non-black promoters or non-black fighters. You know what I'm saying? But then they want to lowball a black fighter. That's what I'm saying, and that's why I'll be trying to tell y'all, don't take none of these content creators seriously, because they full of it. And like I said, I don't expose them, they expose themselves. Now, they don't have no problem with Canelo running off with a belt. And you got to ask yourself a question. Why was Aerospitz included in any package to keep Canelo with the PBC if they was really trying to make a Terrence Crawford fight? At the end of the day, Terrence Crawford could offset a lot of the PBC plans, because they really want to make Canelo versus Aerospitz. That's because they just don't really, to me, I think they don't really want to do business with Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford could offset a lot of different things. One, if he wins and becomes undisputed, well, he can take the belts back to Top Rank or Golden Boy, or do I dare say Matchroom. And then they don't want to do a 2-fight deal, a rematch, because, okay, well, they want it to be one and done so Aerospitz can move up. He's not part of the plan. Like I said, if they was really trying to make this fight, we'd already have a deal by now. All of us. And at the end of the day, due to the fact that you got people that's just scared to call a spade a spade, at the end of the day, what they gonna do to me? Get mad at me? What they gonna do? Blacklist me? Deny me press credentials? They already doing that. They've been doing that. I have nothing to lose. Like I said, the thing is, people just mad because, like I said before, I'm just telling the truth. I haven't lied to you guys about nothing. Everything that I predicted 3 years ago is happening. I told you this was gonna happen. And like I said, Keith Thurman told on himself. He let the cat out of the bag when he said, hey, I was told I was gonna get the Errol Spence fight. Now, all of a sudden, this man is ranked number 1 for the WBC. Keith Thurman has only fought 2 times in the last 3 years. That doesn't make any kind of sense. Before he fought Barrios, he had fought since 2019. So like I said before, you just got to ask yourself this question. What's going on? Like, don't be bamboozled. Don't be, you know what I'm saying? Don't sit up there and support a dude that don't really support you. At the end of the day, the media the mainstream get manipulated, and then get ignored. Everybody is sticking their neck out for Al Heyman and the PBC, but at the same time, he ain't doing the same for them. He not taking care of black media when it comes to getting credentials and covering these fights, but everybody is looking out for him. And then he won't, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the day, he won't talk to anybody. So you have no choice but to say or think what you believe, because at the end of the day, he won't respond. He won't make himself accessible. Say what you want to say about Eddie Hearn. He speaks to the media. Say what you want to say about Bob Arum. He speaks to the media. Say what you want to say about Oscar De speaks to the media. But the dude that everybody at least want to get a feel of talking to us is beneath him. But then he get all this support and backing from black media, but don't even have a common courtesy to eat. Like we're just, you know what I'm saying, ants crawling around a picnic table. You just gotta keep it a buck. And I'm not gonna do that. And I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna call it how I see it. Like, and I'm gonna call the fake pro-black media out too. Like I said, ask me, do I give a damn about y'all being mad at me? I told y'all I ain't following no script, and I'm not saying what y'all want me to say. I don't know how many times I gotta say this. I don't give a damn about y'all getting mad. I'm not finna be a PBC bootlicker, and I'm not finna be an Errol Spence bootlicker. This been going on for 3 years. Like I said before, they was talking like I just see so many bad signs that they really weren't trying to make this fight. I just saw a lot of things. And then, like I said, you had the very biased so-called woke black media who have treated, to me, the so-called woke black media did treated Terrence Crawford worse than any white man or any white media has treated him. But then these are the same dudes that wonder why Terrence Crawford won't give them access. And it mad at me because I wouldn't follow this script to demean and try to divide the black community and try to make them and try to play this role like if you if you support Terrence Crawford over Errol Spence, you some kind of sellout. Like I said, the biggest sellouts is the dudes that's trying to play the black community up against each other by playing this game. Like I said, man, take y'all asses home to y'all white wives or y'all non-black wives. Don't come talking that pro-black stuff. Real talk. Because y'all about as pro-black as Bill O'Reilly or Joe Biden, the current president. That's about how pro-black y'all is. So I'm just keeping it a buck. Nobody wants to hear the truth about this stuff. It just appears to me the people that then kept getting the short end of the stick has been Gary Russell Jr., Deontay and Terrence Crawford. And whether you like it or not, this is just real talk. And I'm saying this, and like I said, once again, I told you, man, I'm gonna say what people are afraid to say. In the last 5 years, two of the biggest possible fights that could have been made haven't been made. And based off the fact what's going on with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, and what started with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, you really proven what guys like Abel Sanchez and what you think Bob Arum and what you think and other people be saying, like Rick Glazier, when they say they don't believe these type of fights can sell. And then when you have the pro-black media, the so-called pro-black woke media, basically downplaying this fight, they basically saying the same thing. You basically are hurting this fight and keeping it from being made. You're basically co-signing what these dudes are saying. Said that this fight can't sell. So you're basically helping them. Because one, the biggest fight that could have got made 4 years ago, Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. At the time, two undefeated black heavyweights could have fought for undisputed. But you couldn't get that fight made because people didn't want to put their egos to the side and do it for the fans. Now, I'm not putting the whole blame on the PBC and Al Heyman, but at the end of the day, they go out of their way to try to make this fight. And as I said before, the funny thing is Al Heyman, they got screwed by Eddie Hearn not once, but twice. He made good with Eddie Hearn a couple of times. He sent Charles Martin over there, and I don't care about how much Charles Martin supposed to have got paid. He should have kept that fight in-house. He made all the other fights in-house. He did business with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn screwed him. Basically told Deontay Wilder he had to come to the zone to make the fight. And keep in mind, you had the situation with Lou DiBella where he tried to sneak and take Deontay Wilder over there. And basically Deontay Wilder, to a certain degree, I believe that he fell out of favor with Al Heyman. That could have been the biggest fight made. Like I say, the black community stay getting screwed. That could have been our fight. Now, once again, you have two black fighters and you can't get a deal made. They can't find a way to get this fight made. They can't find. So Al Heyman is going to be on the wrong side of history for playing a role in two of the biggest possible fights not getting made. And even when Anthony Joshua got the belt back, still didn't really try to make an attempt to get that fight made. I'm just keeping it a buck. You trusted Eddie Hearn, right? Eddie Hearn did you dirty. But then you try to do Terrence Crawford dirty. Like I said this back in 2018. When Terrence Crawford came to Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury won, and they didn't even acknowledge that man's presence. But they showed everybody, showed Triple G on, and they didn't show me that they didn't have. I don't think they want Terrence Crawford, and that's unfortunate. Sorry, you guys, if I'm not saying what you want me to say. They ain't showing me that they really want to make this fight. Now, if this fight does come to fruition, I'll say, hey, I was wrong. Y'all know I'll do it, but it's looking like something else is finna happen, and that's gonna be sad. Where you got so-called brothers devaluing another brother. Like I said before, Al Heyman got played by Canelo, and then the so-called woke black media didn't say nothing about it. Canelo took his belts, got $40 million out of him, and took his ass back to the zone and back to match room. When Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua, you could have made a fight with Wilder and Andy Ruiz, and then you could have still made the Anthony Joshua fight. But you sent Andy Ruiz over there. You sent the back over there. Yeah, Andy Ruiz supposedly got $8 million, but at the end of the day, you still sold out to Eddie Hearn. You still complied to Eddie Hearn. You should have said no. The only way we'll send Andy Ruiz back over there if you guarantee and you sign to fight Deontay Wilder if you win that fight. But they didn't do it. But nobody wants to talk about that because they scared. Or they just fake. Sorry that I'm telling the truth. Sorry that it makes sense. Sorry that I'm making too much sense. So like I said, the PBC that got played by Eddie Hearn twice. But then nobody don't have a problem, and you didn't see no videos getting made or nobody talking about it. But they don't have no problem with the PBC trying to basically devalue Terrence Crawford, another black man. Like I said, some of y'all black media is fake and you gutless, and that's all it come down to. You fake woke. Sorry, I'm not following the script. Sorry, I'm telling the truth. So, I'm just telling you. Where's all that vitriol for Eddie Hearn and Canelo? But y'all got, every time I look around, I see somebody crying about Terrence Crawford. Oh, Terrence Crawford needs to, look, come on, man. If it's true that they still on that 80-20 stuff, they not trying to make that fight, that's just extremely unreasonable. They know Terrence Crawford ain't gonna take no 80-20. But like I said before, they talked about they don't got no money for Terrence Crawford. But they had $41 million to give Canelo plus an additional $100 million. But they got all the money in the world for the Mexican though. But they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay the brother though. It's about white to me, except the people that's doing it happen to be black. Now watch people not say nothing. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing because I'm telling the truth. Terrence Crawford is getting devalued by his own people, or so-called own people. So there you have it. I dare somebody to tell me that I haven't spoken nothing but facts. I came with facts. The PBC let Eddie Hearn play them not once but twice. And then when Deontay Wilder decided to be his own man and say, you know what? Let's see what can we do to get this fight with Anthony. They had several chances to make that fight with Anthony Johnson. And like I said, guess who loses out? The black community. It's cool to fight. It's cool to fight people that don't always have to be black, but damn, can we get something for us? Can we get something that we can just celebrate amongst each other? Like I said, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder would have been a celebration. I wouldn't have cared who won. And once again, here we have this dilemma. Here we have this BS. Got to go through this BS again. Y'all don't get tired. Y'all don't get tired of seeing this stuff. Y'all ain't tired of seeing this stuff. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you guys love it, I like it then. But don't get mad at me because you got a dude like me that's just telling the truth. I'm not clickbaiting people like other people do on here. Like I said, somebody tell me that I'm lying in this stream. Somebody tell me that I haven't spoken nothing but facts. Nah, bro, I already did. Look, man, already been ostracized, bro. The PBC thought that it would shut me up by them giving me a credential to a chitlin circuit fight. They thought that would shut me up. They gave me a credential for a chitlin circuit fight, and they didn't think I was going to show up or send somebody there. So like I said, don't come on here trying to talk that black stuff to me, man. These dudes need to sit their asses down. They only want to play that pro-black stuff when it's convenient. You see what a fraud that barber bitch conversation turned out to be. Biggest fraud out there. Biggest fraud. Him and Dante is two of the biggest frauds out there. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, already been ostracized. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. Like I said, nobody ain't had my back in this thing. Like I said, I've been my own support system. Ain't nobody called out the PBC except me. I mean, they doing it right in our face. They doing it right in our face. And like I said before, you guys can listen. Tell me where I'm lying at. Somebody tell me that I'm lying. That I haven't spoken nothing but facts. Y'all see what these dudes is doing? The first is the end of the week, August the 1st. Like I said, we have been went 9 months, and it don't take no 9 months to negotiate no fight, man. It shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be this hard to negotiate a fight. So like I said, y'all seeing the truth? Like I said, I don't need nobody, and I'm keeping it 100. I don't need nobody to vouch for me. They ain't did it so far. Don't start doing it now. Keep it that way. Like I said before, I got where I am on my own. No endorsements. Nobody invite me to come on they outlets. None of that stuff. And like I said before, keep it that way. I don't need your motherfucking outlet. Real talk. I don't need your outlet. Because guess what? I'm my own man. So keep it that way. I done gave you clue after clue, sign after sign, and presented this to y'all. Like I said, remember, first they said it was a contract. They said this fight was going to be announced on the 4th of July. But like I said, the master plan is to find a way to get out of this fight and somehow try to put this on Terrence Crawford. And then at the same time, use the fake woke pro-black media at the same time to do your dirty work. And still don't let them in your events when they apply for credentials. Still to basically push your agenda. So, I mean, don't get mad at, for real, don't get mad at me. Like, for real. Once I saw that Keith Thurman was the #1 contender, I was like, okay, it's starting. I mean, it was like that song by, what was that song by, damn, man, I can't even remember that song. I can't remember the bro's name. Oh, J Electronica. Exhibit, I think it was Exhibit C, when it say, "Oh no, please bring her home to me." He say, "It's coming. It's coming. It's coming." Well, like I said, it's coming. It's gonna be a fight, all right, but it may not be the fight that you want to see. And like I said before, if that happens, I can't wait to see the excuses that these dudes gonna make. But somehow they gonna try, like I said before. You got dudes telling this man, Terrence Crawford, that he should take less money. And then basically they finally kind of told the truth that Errol Spence wasn't doing the pay-per-view numbers that they were saying he was doing. Said he was doing slightly better than Terrence Crawford. Slightly better means a little bit better. Slightly means a little bit. Overwhelmingly means double or triple. Because like I said, you kept hearing that number 250. Always kept hearing that number 250, like on All About the Benjamins. 750, 750, 750, 750. Let me ask y'all a question. And this is real talk. This is how you drop the mic on the Errol Spence apologists. If Errol Spence was doing these 2, 3, 400,000 that they were saying, well, why did Fox let that fight, his last fight, go to Showtime? If a dude is making you money, wouldn't you want to keep him? Why is Fox pulling out of this deal after the end of the year if they making so much money? See, like I said, these dudes don't want to ask these questions. Yeah, I know some of them is mad. I know some of them is saying fuck town biz, cool, and I'm saying fuck you back. Because I'm dropping the mic on these fools. Once again, if you was doing these tremendous pay-per-view numbers, why did Fox let that fight go to Showtime? It's like this, okay? Let's say I had an artist and I signed him to a 3-record deal. Okay? If this dude making the record label money, why would I let him go to another record label, if he making me so much money? And not even fight for him to stay at the record label. Guess what? If I let him go to another record label, that means he ain't selling the records. That means he ain't moving units. Because I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep him. I'm going to renegotiate. Give him a new signing bonus. Y'all got to see this for what it is. See, these dudes mad because like I'm debunking them. I'm debunking what they mean. I'm decoding them. I'm exposing them. Fox would have never let Errol Spence go back to Showtime if he was doing the pay-per-view numbers that they say he doing. As you can see, Fox didn't let Deontay Wilder go back to Showtime with those 2 Tyson Fury fights. You know why? Because they sold. They did well. Wilder made money. Once again, I told you Wilder outsold Errol Spence in pay-per-views. The real pay-per-view king on PBC, not named Floyd Mayweather, is Deontay Wilder. And like I said, if they would have found some common ground, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder would have did 1 million pay-per-views. But once again, they didn't go out of their way to make that fight, like they ain't going out of their way to make this fight, because it appears to be that the PBC is more pro-Mexican or pro-Hispanic fighters than they are the brothers. Because all you got to do is look at the undercards. They could have put Boots on the undercard, but you look at all these undercards. Cruz, Gamboa, all the Hispanic fighters get put on undercards. You don't see no brothers. There you have it. But see, nobody wants to bring that up. I told you I'm dropping the mic on these dudes. I told you I'm dropping the mic on these dudes. Like I said before, if this man was selling those type of pay-per-views, Fox would have never let him go over to Showtime. It's just really that simple. It's just really that simple. Now, before somebody come on here and say, "I'll tell you're a hater." Oh, well, what was Bud's pay-per-views? Well, Bud wasn't marketed as a pay-per-view star. I said, to sell a certain amount of pay-per-views, you need the right partner in most cases. And I can tell you right now, if Oscar De La Hoya was fighting now, Oscar wouldn't be doing no million pay-per-views. Oscar's pay-per-views was $49. Gotta keep it a buck. If you want somebody to fork out that type of bread, you gotta have a marquee fight, and you gotta have, for the most part, a solid undercard. Put Regis on Errol Spence versus Crawford. Put Boots on Errol Spence versus Crawford. You know what I'm saying? That fight, it'll do numbers. Then you can throw a Mexican versus Mexican on there, and put David Benavidez on there. You know what I'm saying? Just throw him on there, just to help. You know what I'm saying? In that fight of sale. But based off what's going on, you don't believe that fight can sell. Why not have an all black? Why not have an all black pay-per-view? I'm just saying, man. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Just tell the truth. It's okay. It's okay. I know I'm finna make, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm really finna get, hey, I know I'm really gonna get put on the list after this. I know I'm gonna really get put on the do not credential list, but that's okay though. Sorry that I got the guts to say what a lot of these other dudes won't say. But anyway, appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all tapping in. I'll be back with more. I'm out.